Boston in 1962. That's the upper right hand. Yeah, it's old, I know. Upper right hand corner of the country. And my father was an intellectual. He won an award in high school, which guaranteed him the right to go to Harvard University free of cost, which he did. And he became an intellectual. But growing up, he was very into books. He just read like 20 books a week. And so I was pretty much on my own and got into a lot of trouble. And then around age 21, so we didn't have much of a relationship. I missed out on that. And a lot of that was my own fault. I was very rebellious, got in a lot of trouble. But then I got to college, and then I became a Christian at age 21, which sort of took my life going one way and just a big U-turn going the other way. And my father wasn't too happy about that. And then fast forward, I became a dad at age 28. And then fast forward to 2013, and this is, I knew a lot of you guys then. My dad decided to move from Boston to here because he was all alone up there. My mom had passed. And my dad had never had a father. His dad died when he was 8 years old. And that's one of the things about being a refugee or an immigrant, is when you get here, a lot of times you have to work so hard. And so my grandfather worked himself to death, and my dad watched him die at age 8. And so my dad didn't really have the tools to be a dad. And that was a lot of the dynamic in our relationship. But we moved, I became a Christian, and he moved to Tennessee, to Nashville. He moved in with me in 2013. And so I had that relationship with my father that I missed out on. I got a retake on that. And so we would do everything together, and he lived with me for four years. And in that time, my dad became a Christian. It was just an amazing turn of events. And so we had that in common all of a sudden. And then a couple of years later, he got dementia. And I don't know if you've ever had anyone in your family get dementia, but we went to do the Alzheimer's test, because they do a test, they ask you 30 questions. And my dad got 29 right, and I got 27 right. So he had a very strange form of dementia. It wasn't Alzheimer's, it was just a very unusual form of dementia. And so in 2017, I took over, I became the dad at that point. And so I lived out the relationship that I always wanted with my father, that closeness. So I had the joy of having a father, but then I had to become the father in 2017 when my dad was declared incompetent. And so I remember that time very well. My dad had to go into assisted living, a lot of medical situations. And my dad was very upset. He was very down. And then we had an aunt who was cleaning out her attic, and she found a letter that my father's father had written to another friend that was going to West Point. And he was, it's very hard to get into West Point. And so he wrote him a letter just overflowing with compliments and encouragements. And so I was able to take that letter that was written by my father's father to a friend and read it to my dad when he was really at a low point in his life. And it was just so encouraging to sort of see my grandfather figuratively come back from the dead to give this statement to my dad, and that really encouraged him. And so I became my father's father, and that was very bizarre, but I was able to be a really good dad to my dad, encouraging him, talking to him, visiting him a lot in the assisted living. And he lived there for 6 years, and he died 2 years ago. And the person that my grandfather wrote that letter to went on to become a colonel in the Army and have an amazing career. But I was able to have that, give my dad that gift of having a father. And I know that's bizarre, but I feel like God moved in a very mysterious way. And so I'm the father of 4 kids now, and they're all in the area. A couple of them come to play soccer, and a lot of what we do here is father and son. You'll notice a lot of dads bringing their sons, and so that's encouraging. So I hope that story encourages you. It was a tremendous gift for me to have my dad from 2013 to 2017, and then to give that gift back to my dad of being his father. And it's very bizarre, it's very strange, but that's how it worked out in my family. So thanks for coming, everyone. We're going to be here on Thursday at 5:30. Hope to see you. Grab an orange.